Swatisha, we will start the session in 2 minutes. Around Nikita, at 4:05 we will start the session. Okay.
Sure.
Sorry, sir. Can you please come again?
We will start the session at 5:04. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Sir. Thank you.
I think students are participating one by one.
So, sir, may I start now?
Please start, Swastisha. We can start now.
Thank
Okay.
you. Sir.
Yeah.
Good evening to our honorable guest speaker, Ms. Nikita Das, our mentors and my dear friends. I am Swastisha, student of MSc Media Science and the host of today's session. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome all of you to this webinar. This is an interactive session where our guest speaker will be speaking on the following topics: digital marketing revolution during COVID-19 and beyond the crisis situation, the current scenario of social media management, career prospects in the management and media industry. And now, I would like to introduce our guest speaker for the day. Ms. Nikita Das is a marketing communications professional with over 11 years of work experience across advertising and marketing industries, from FMCG to hospitality. Having worked with companies like Ogilvy and Mather, DDB Mudra, McCann Erickson, Vogue and GQ Magazine, Taj Group of Hotels, and now Marriott International, she spearheads marketing communications for the entire cluster of hotels in Bangalore. So now it's time to begin our session. I would request ma'am to take over and start. The session is now all yours, ma'am.
Thank you, Swastisha, for this brilliant introduction. And thank you, Krishnendu, for putting this together and having me as a speaker to share, information, knowledge, and insight, and also to learn from all of you all. First things first, I would just want to say good afternoon to everyone who's on the session. We hope that everyone is still in home and behind the, in the lockdown, behind closed doors, safe and quarantined as we move out of this very challenging and unflinched time of the COVID crisis, this pandemic. We are seeing a lot of change in the systems, in the industries, in governance, and the way policies are being set. So keeping that in mind, today's session is on digital marketing. And more importantly, it is on social media aspect of digital marketing, because as you all know, digital is going through a complete revolution. While all the other industries today, whether it is automotive industry, hospitality industry, travel, trade, tourism, the service industry like airlines, everyone is bleeding. Even IT, while they are making IT software solutions, there are agencies which are agencies and even companies like PricewaterhouseCoopers and the Big Four are bleeding. So they are, incorporating salary cuts. Having said that, apart from all the industries which are going through this slump, the only medium of communication, or the only platform and the only place which is right now active and making money or creating revenue for the various industries out there is social media. And social media, as we go through the presentation, I'll walk you through how social media is growing, what are the trends that we are following on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on TikTok, and how are brands monetizing that aspect. So let me share my screen, and we will keep it as interactive as possible. So everyone can see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great.
The students, those who are in, you can start your video, please, also during this session. Okay. So the students, those who are in, please start your video also. And if you want to ask any question to ma'am, you can.
Yes. So, hello, good to see everyone. So everyone can switch on their videos. It'll be nice to interact. I'm seeing some very happy, smiling faces. Swastisha, and then someone here, I can't see their name. But so, yes, hi. 1 second, let me open it. Okay, right. So guys, just a quick one. I'll go through the presentation. Okay, it'll be a quick presentation, and we will go through the social media dynamics and matrix and approaches and the way forward. And then we will keep about 20 minutes for a Q&A session in the end. So reserve your questions for the end of the seminar, and we will take all your questions in the end one by one. And there's my email ID also in the end. So if I don't complete all the questions here, then you can separately email me and we can be in touch on whichever medium of communication. Okay. Okay. Going forward. So quickly, let's have a quick look at the growth statistics. Okay, guys. Now we are seeing that out of all the countries, US is the most affected right now. If you were to see in terms of their numbers that are affected and the number of deaths also that are going up are staggered. So it's about 3,000 deaths. That's at one point of time, about a week back. Right now, they are saying that they have plateaued, but the growth dynamics were that US numbers were really, really high. Also, the consumption pattern of social media is such that the US audience is the largest in terms of social media consumption. So let's look at their numbers. Everyone can see the screen, right? So Facebook,
Yes.
this is just, I'll walk you through Facebook users in United States, okay, has increased. This is, we're looking at February 2020, before the COVID had just struck. And now, March 2020, how it has increased, a 2.5% increase, which means a 5.7 million active users. Now, if you come down to the red and blue screens, or the red and blue, the tabs, the red and blue bars, you see that the red and blue bars are age demographic. If you look at the age demographic of 25 to 34, that is the age bracket, which shows you the number of active users. Now, in terms of Facebook, the number of active users has increased has increased by 1 million. Now, let's come to Instagram. Instagram users are more millennial, okay? Generation Z, Generation Y, and Facebook is a little more baby boomers, which is 1960 and above. Instagram trend shows February 2020 was at 119 million, which has increased in March to 124,200,000, right? This is a 3.7% increase, which accounts for a 4.4 million active users. To give you perspective, this number in this age bracket of 25 to 34, which we are all, or you are in this age bracket, you are all age bracket, and your consumption pattern in the US, and then you can set context to other countries, has increased by 2 million. So Facebook, we saw increased by 1 million, which is between non-COVID and COVID pandemic time. Instagram, with the number of users of the millennials, has increased by 2 million, absolutely double. Which brings me to my next question. Now, because you've seen so much trend of people using the Instagram and using social media platforms so much, how much time do you think is the daily time spent on social media, or was the daily time spent? Let's look at till February. What do you think would have been the average time that a person would spend on social media?
Students, please interact. Students, please interact.
There's no right or wrong answer. Should I check the chat box, Krishnendu, or should I check the, like, if anybody would want to talk or anything?
Yeah. Students, please interact with ma'am, please.
Oh, sorry. I just gave out the answer. Okay, no problem. So let's go ahead. In case y'all feel it would have been 10 hours, 2 hours before the COVID pandemic crisis. Today it is. So it was earlier 2 hours and 24 minutes. And today we are looking at about 6 to 8 hours a day. So that means that the average consumption earlier was 2 hours before the COVID pandemic time. And now, since we are quarantined, we are at home, we have so much time at hand, we barely have any work, we have webinars where we can't even see that whether you are attending the lecture or you are just switched off and it's running by the side. So, and you're Instagramming by the side. So basically, to say that now, while we're all home and we are quarantined and we don't have so much movement and work to do, people are spending about 6 to about 8 hours a day on Instagram and on social media, Facebook, TikTok. And those are whooping numbers, okay? For brands, for individuals, it is the right time for you to start an Instagram page. If you haven't yet started a TikTok page, right now is the time, because anything that you put on Instagram today is going to become viral, or at least will have the potential to go viral. So everybody, let me ask you, all of y'all, all students are based out of Calcutta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay,
Yes, ma'am.
everybody's based out of
Most
Calcutta.
of them.
Most of us,
Okay.
most of us. Few of us are
So
outstation, but most of us are
Okay.
from Calcutta.
Okay, so you are okay with me speaking in English? I am a Bengali also. I can speak, so I can do half English, half Bengali,
Yes.
but everybody is comfortable with English, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
perfect. I'll go ahead. Okay, great. Right. So now I'm quickly going to run past this slide, types of social media. Now, if you look at social media, guys, social media is not just Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok and Twitter. The social media is an entire universe of social media. Okay. Rahul, anything that you want to share? Sorry, this is a little distracting. Okay.
Nothing.
I will just put this. Okay. So social media, I'm going to go from right to left, right? Okay. So I'm going to quickly run through this. Social media is, one second, minimize this, right? So social media is today, there are different varieties and types of social media platforms that are available there. They are more community based. To give you an example, whatever interests you the most. Anonymous social network. Ask is an anonymous social network, okay, where you can basically ask questions without revealing your identity. Twitter is another a community center or a social media platform where you can ask anonymous questions. You don't have to reveal your identity. Now, why are these anonymous queries or more anonymous responses there? Because, guys, you understand that our country is highly political, okay, and when it comes to Bengalis like us, we have vivid opinions about politics, okay. We are left in most of our ways, and we have very strong opinions about our policies and about our procedures and the way things are working in this country, okay. Now, because of that, there are many people who don't want to put themselves out there because politics and the political world is a very dangerous world. So you may want to put across your political views, but under a name which nobody knows that you go by. So it's always, that's why Twitter is full of political jargons or political jags, like we call it, with anonymous names so that nobody knows your identity. Well, you still get your point across to people. Investopedia. Investopedia is an economic network. So everybody who wants to discuss community in a community built platform, anybody who wants to discuss socio-political issues, geopolitical issues, political and economic issues that are helping the country and not helping the country, P&Ls of the various companies, of how the GDP is growing, etc. Investopedia is one such social media platform where economics gets discussed in a closed community group. Okay. Social shopping networks. Social shopping networks, I'm not talking about Myntra, Amazon and all. These are networks which are built for community engagement on anything to do with shopping, which is not just the trends or what to shop and what not to shop, but this is more distribution. What are the clothes that are there? Or what are the industries of clothing that are out there? Textile, okay. Sabyasachi, he's also based out of Calcutta. He's a very active member in this. So basically, these are platforms which talk about the trends of distribution, the trends of fashion, the industry, the textile, handicrafts, and handloom industry. And what people want to discuss within that purview is the social network of that community, like Polywear and E, etc. Interest-based networks, again, interest-based networks are very easy. They are like A, SET, and G. These are interest-based networks. You have Rolling Stones, which is another interest-based social network, social media network. You have an interest in music, that's the platform for you. You want to discuss artists, you want to discuss trends that are in the music world, you want to discuss what is going to come up, how concerts are going to be held, because concerts are large gatherings. In this pandemic time, concerts are not going to happen, not for another year and a half. What are the ways? How are trends getting into that area? So those are interest-based networks. Blogging, there's Tumblr, there's WordPress, customer review networks. This needs no introduction. Customer review networks are TripAdvisor, Zomato, where you can post a query and talk about the food that was served to you, good, bad, talk about your stay in the hotel, good, bad, for others to see and make a decision. Bookmarking, content curation network. Now there's so much content out there in the world, okay? How do you flip through so much content? And when you're doing your dissertation in university, or you're doing your page, you're writing your thesis, how do you know what did you read where? Because there's information overload, right, on the internet. You bookmark. There are social media websites that are only meant for bookmarking, where you bookmark and you tag the page that was most relevant, and it comes as a tagged gesture. It comes like F is a website, which comes as a social media network where you can bookmark your pages very easily, and at the click of a button, you can go back to sourcing or referencing when you're doing your thesis or dissertation. Discussion forums. There's Quora, which is a discussion forum everybody knows. There's Reddit. Reddit was very big earlier. Now it's slowly coming down. But Reddit is also a brilliant discussion forum. In Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we are there with you.
Yes,
Yes,
we can.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sorry, my earpods just went off. Okay, so just to give you an idea, in Wuhan, when the virus just got out and only that city was getting affected, there was a whistleblower. Now, what's a whistleblower? Somebody who raises an alarm first. Now, China, you all know, is a communist country. So any news that comes out is suppressed and it's made dead. All these numbers also that China has given us, that 20,000, 30,000 deaths, are all wrong. It was the worst affected and it still is the worst affected. They have about whatever number they say China is giving, just multiply it into 10. That is the actual number of cases and deaths and etc. Everything. WHO also helped them cover up in a big way, right? So there was a whistleblower in Wuhan who had in their doctors community, and he used this platform, okay, Reddit. In the doctors community, on the platform, he had mentioned that there is this virus that has come out. It's taking lives, and if we don't do anything about it now, it will be too late. And this was about October or November when Wuhan was just starting to get affected. The next day, he got a letter from the ministry in the China saying that please take this post down. If you don't, you will face severe repercussions of the same. After about 1 month, we came to know that he has COVID himself, and then he died. So nobody really knows he died, he was killed, what was he done? But this is the kind of the country that China is, and this is the way they are suppressing news. So these are the discussion forums, that you need to be a part of, because the world is sometimes very true, and they show these true sides on this platform. Whereas if you look at Twitter, it's all manipulated. Okay, all the political comments and all the political jags are mostly filtered. All the political channels, like Arnab Goswami's Republic channel, is completely bought. You know that he's paid millions and millions of dollars by BJP, and that is why he does what he does, and he's a pro BJP. So come onto these discussion platforms, share your views, because here is where people hear you out in the true sense. Lastly, media sharing networks, so YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, it needs no introduction. Okay, sorry if I'm going a little fast, but just to cover basically what is social media and digital marketing in a very large way. Okay, we are good on time, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
So social media has 5 very core pillars, if I may say so. Okay, so it has a strategy pillar, because tomorrow, if you as a student want to come onto social media and say, I have a bakery, I want to have my own page, you just can't put a picture of a cupcake saying, I hope you like this cupcake, I'm starting my bakery called Q's Bakery, and start selling. No, even for your personal page or your brand page, you have to have a strategy. It needs to have why, what, where. You have to have goals set, how you're going to measure it. What is the end objective? Is your objective only awareness, or is your objective revenue from your business? Is your objective only reaching out to a closed community, or is your objective spreading yourself out in the entire city of Kolkata and beyond? Whatever it is, you need a strategic approach. Planning and publishing. Planning and publishing is when you have a strategy in place. How is your distribution channel? Do you want to have a Facebook channel and Instagram, or Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or only a YouTube channel where you show behind the scenes making of the cupcakes, something like that? Analysis and reporting, very important, because this is the third one is listening and engagement. You want people to interact with you. Like, I want my students to interact with me. So when we open up the questions in the end, we will be interacting. Same way, when you open a page, or if you have a page on TikTok, what is your objective? That people listen to you and they engage with you. Okay, they engage, which means they put comments, they put likes, they put shares, they spread the word around, and that's how they engage with a brand or a person. Analysis and reporting, this is metrics. Anything that you do today, we have to make sure that it is being measured, which means that tomorrow, if I started at 0, my engagement is 0. Tomorrow, when I have 100 posts, my engagement has increased to 1,000. Today, if you have 0 followers, tomorrow, if you start posting every day, my metrics show I am at 500 followers. Now, there are free tools, okay? If you want to make a note of it, there are free tools online, like Smartboard, okay, Flickr, etc. These are free tools which will help you analyze and report and give you matrix of how your page is performing. Even basic matrix, there's Google Analytics, there's Facebook Analytics, there's Instagram Analytics. So if you go to your page, you'll be able to see insights on how your page has performed. Okay. Advertising, this we won't cover right now because this is paid advertising. Any kind of marketing that you do on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, paid way, which is through Instagram ads, sponsored posts, boost posts, etc. This all comes under paid advertising. Okay, so does anybody know who this lady is? Maybe not.
Pooja Katan, I suppose.
Yes, absolutely perfect. Who said that? I can see all the men laughing because all the men smiling here because they may not know this. Okay, so guys, sorry for this. So this lady is a leading, how do you say? She's an American Israeli, and she's a leading cosmetologist and a leading fashion stylist. Okay, so to say. And today she's a $1 billion company, which is run by her eponymous brand, which is called Huda Beauty. Today it has also come to India, so it is also available in Nykaa and Lux Nykaa stores. Why I'm showing you is because now we will be going ahead and talking about benefits of social media marketing during this pandemic time with organizations and individuals. So now let's look at benefits to organizations. I'm going to quickly run through this. Benefits to organization. One, during this pandemic phase, like I mentioned, everybody is online. Everybody is on social media. Everybody is thinking, let's make some money or let's get some followers. So for businesses, it is a huge platform to amplify mass reach. To give you an example, I am with the Marriott Group of Hotels. For my hotel, all the restaurants are shut. What is open right now? Food deliveries. How do I reach out for food deliveries? Through my platform, through the Instagram or through my Facebook page. I create menus. Okay, I create very engaging creative matters. Like I tell my agency to create lovely creatives. I have QR code, which is embedded in those creatives, which can help when you scan, you land onto my page. Okay, on my menu. The menu has a direct call button. So all you need to do, you don't even need to log into Zomato or Swiggy. You can just directly pick up the phone, call, make a delivery order, and the food will be delivered home. Okay, so it amplifies mass reach. Okay, without any investment. Right now, we are not spending any money because brands do not have that money during this COVID pandemic phase. There are no funds. There is no money. What do? We only promote ourselves organically. Market research through one Twitter or through one Instagram, you can reach out to multiple brands and see what are they doing in this world. Are they busy? Are they shut down? Have they shut operations? Are they active? Are they making money? Are they only creating content? What are they doing? Okay, provide customer relations support. That is what they're doing. A lot of because of the weather. Okay, this is summertime, so a lot of air conditioning companies, LG, Samsung, etc., they are using social media to provide customer support and relationship management, which means they are telling all their customers, we are there. We have started services. The lockdown is staggered and it is opening up. Please reach us in so and so number, and we'll be happy to send our delivery boys to your house. Okay, that's the kind of engagement that brands are doing with people during this COVID pandemic crisis. Improve event capabilities, build brand awareness. This is everybody knows. Now, how is it beneficial to individuals? Now, this will relate to probably you and me because say if you all are students, okay, I have my own page, which I will show you. We all may have our own pages. Now, how is social media going to be beneficial to us and what hacks can we use to grow our page further? We show on our page, we show empathy, which means that at this point of time, there are so many people on Instagram and so many people on social media that it is very easy for anything that we do to make it go viral. I'm sure everybody has seen Shilpa Shetty on TikTok. Okay, and maybe a couple of others like what Alana Pandey is doing or what Sara Ali Khan is doing with her brother. Okay, so Sara Ali Khan has these knock jokes that she does with her brother, which she posts on her page. Okay, I hope you guys like know what I'm talking about and the influencers we're talking about. Or you can suggest me some influencers even in Calcutta. Like I think Monmi Ghosh is one of them, who is doing a lot of those Genda Fool videos, and she did Akla Cholore, and that became like 2 million views on YouTube, right? So these are individual pages. What they are doing is they are kind of right now building empathy. So they're putting out a lot of content with their mask. There is one post which a girl is doing, which is makeup with her mask on. So that is going to be the new normal from tomorrow. Okay. So there is another comedian called Rahul Subramaniam. If you see his pages, there are pages of him doing there's content of him doing when he's standing outside in the line in the queue for liquor, alcohol. What are they doing? How are they talking? Okay, during this COVID pandemic time. So very engaging and humorous content, which is on their individual pages. So look at those, and probably you can do something like that on TikTok. And be rest assured that it may just become viral at this point of time. So yourself, you have a brand, you are reaching, you have a potential reach. Now, Instagram also and Facebook has brought the time gap between people and has bridged a lot of gaps. Now, tomorrow, for example, you want to reach out to Hrithik Roshan and tell him that, whatever he's posting on COVID and how he's spending time with his kids is doing fabulous. Day before yesterday, we, as marketers, we wrote to Malaika Arora Khan. Okay, and this is all true. It may sound very funny or whatever, but it is true. This is called 6 degrees of separation, guys. Okay, 6 degrees of separation is a concept which was started by Kevin Bacon, the Hollywood actor, he said that today every person is connected to us in 6 steps or 6 acquaintances. Okay, today with social media, it's reduced to 2 or maybe even 1 step. Everybody knows Sushma Swaraj, late Sushma Swaraj now. We had this whole thing of late Sushma Swaraj when people were stranded in the Gulf and our people wanted to reach out to have the army plane sent to them to rescue them. All they had to do is write on Twitter. And she was extremely active and her ministry was extremely active on Twitter. All they had to write, she got a message from stranded Indians saying, we are stranded, we need help, we need to be deported to our country. And she sent aircrafts and planes with the help of the military forces for evacuation. That is a clear example of one acquaintance gap or 1 degree of separation. Similarly, today, when we as a brand, we as Marriott, we sent a message to Malaika Arora saying, hi Malaika, we've seen lovely content that you're doing on cooking posts and you're doing great work on fitness videos from home. Would you like to do a collaboration for us? She replied back saying, I would love to. So now if you see our pages, she's actually doing her yoga and her this thing on a couple of our hotels. So Westin is doing hers, JW Marriott is doing a live session with Malaika Arora. We are doing more with Yasmin Karachiwala, okay, fitness videos and all. So that's what I'm saying. World is your oyster right now on social media. If you have a great page, you can write to Shilpa Shetty and say, hey, I want to feature in your TikTok video. You may just hear back from her because she is looking for content right now, right? Do something on Bengali content. Like there's so much, like Monmi Ghosh right now is all out there. She is beautifully dressing herself and doing Genda Fool videos. And now she's being approached by various brands, okay, of various brands of saris and various brands of, of Calcutta and other cities where they want to do a collaboration with her. Social media is gone way above parameters right now. And now is the time to capitalize. To give you an example, this is, I don't know, again, this is very women-centric, but this is Kylie Jenner.
Oh, we know her. We know her.
Course,
Youngest entrepreneur, I suppose.
Yes, of course, the men, I can see them giggling and smiling.
We know the Kardashians and the Jenners.
Yes, Shantan. Yes, of course, the Kardashians. Everybody knows them and how she and the adjectives I may use. But the point is showing you this is today, whoever, like a Kylie Jenner also, who has no meaningful content. All she does is she posts picture of hers and some makeup, and she has her whole team who is doing her production, her supply, her design, her product and everything, right? You don't think that she goes herself and she makes her product, obviously, right? She has a whole team. But she is also right now on this bandwagon of COVID. So she came out saying, or her PR team came out saying, she's going to make 6,000 hand sanitizer bottles for her hospital in Southern California. Now, that is building empathy. So what she's trying to do is, right now, she's trying to create empathy during this time of COVID, telling the whole world, listen, I am much more than just, boobs and butt, or, this is what I'm doing, and I'm a influencer, and look at my music, and look at my daughter, and look at my son and my stupid family. But I'm also doing something meaningful that is adding a lot of value. Okay, so this is the time when they are communicating in a very empathetic tone and a very, very morose tone to tell people that they are there. And if there's any help that is required, they are also helping the government as much as possible. Okay, social media strategies. We'll quickly run through this and then we'll get into a quick discussion. I think we have 5 more minutes and then we'll open for questions. So how are we handling it? Okay, I'm a hotelier. I'm a hotel marketer. We have about 137 hotels in the entire country and 7,500 hotels in the entire world. Okay, the Marriott International Group of Hotels. We also have been given a mandate that we have to go dark. We have to go dark means if there is no communication right now happening and the hotels don't have money right now to sustain because there is no business, there is no tourism, there is no domestic business coming in. We follow a two-pronged approach, which means one, there is a reactive approach, which means we take it slow and easy and we react only when there is a crisis or there is a need. And there is a proactive approach, which means tomorrow, when we open up, tomorrow, when we are back with a bang and our doors are open for people to come in who are trapped, people who are wanting to eat, and people who want to go to and bars, our hotels will be open. We will take a proactive approach. Now, let me walk you through and then I will show you the examples. Reactive approach, what we are doing currently is our tone of communication is very mellow, which means we are saying, we are doing campaigns which says, yes, we are there. We are listening. Okay, our hearts are wide open. Our lights are for hope. We are helping the community. We are delivering food wherever possible. So this is the kind of approach. Stay home, quarantine yourself, home videos, home tutorials, chef tutorials, home fitness videos, okay, how to make alcohol at home or hand sanitizers. So there are hotel owners who are doing a lot of engagement with the social media right now on a reactive terms, which means we're not going out there and pushing for business. We're not making right now. Okay. Proactive approach. Tomorrow when we open up, we will be aggressive, which means when you look at our pages, we'll be like, we are open, call us, make a booking. Our prices are slashed by 75%. This is the number. Call us to make a booking. Okay. Make your reservations now. It's now or never. I'm giving you examples. This is the kind of approach which we will take when we open up. Not very aggressive in terms of no empathy. Of course, there will be empathy. There will be staggering of empathy as well as other posts which will be direct action. Direct action means which will have a call to action. So that tomorrow we know exactly how many people called, how many bookings did we get, and how much money did we make. Okay, quickly, I'll run you through these campaigns. This is the reactive approach that we did. It was featured by Condé Nast Traveler. Guys, Condé Nast Traveler is a mother company of Vogue, GQ, and Condé Nast Traveler magazine. And they posted us that what we are doing. So have a look at this. You all can see my screen? Yeah? Everyone can hear it?
Yes.
Could the volume be raised, please?
I have seen this.
Nikita, we can't hear your voice, I think.
Oh, you can't
Everyone
see
is.
this
No, not your voice, ma'am. Just
No.
the audio for the video.
Can you see the video?
We can see the video, but we could not hear the audio.
Oh, you couldn't hear the audio. Oh.
Your
Right.
voice is fine.
Why? Okay. I don't know why you can't hear the audio.
I think you'll have to raise. I think you'll have to raise the volume from your audio source all the way
Oh,
up
right. No, I think I'm.
because you have your earphones on.
This should work now. This video should work. Just tell me if this video you can hear, okay?
For sure. All good.
Yeah, we can hear the video.
what we're doing. We're not saying, come, we are open, please book us for more. Okay, make money out of this whole situation right now because the doors are not even open. But this is the kind of empathetic tone. This is reactive approach. Okay. Now this is proactive approach. Now if you look at Dettol, okay, what they have done is they have done this hand wash challenge. The best way to communicate to children that they need to keep washing their hands of 20 seconds is to make a video of 20 seconds with song and dance, and have Tiger Shroff, who's a kid's favorite, and Jacqueline Fernandez dance to that, so that tomorrow kids go to the washroom themselves and wash their hands while singing this for 20 seconds. Okay, has everyone seen this? Or I'm going to show you anyway. It's a 20-second campaign that they're running.
मैसेज देना है टू वन एंड ऑल 20 सेकंड तक करना डेटॉल हाथों को अपने साबुन से धोना छूटे नहीं कोई भी कोना आगे से पीछे से नीचे से लेफ्ट राइट जीतेंगे ये फाइट.
You all could see, no? Everyone could see?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I believe.
Right? Okay. So look, everyone, so they have taken medium influencers, celebrity influencers, all this kind of celebrity marketing that is happening right now, influencer marketing they are doing with small-time TV actors like Anahita, she's a small-time TV actor, and then Tiger Shroff, of course, commercial actor. There's Jacqueline, who they've taken. So, and they, you know, these kind of, I don't even know them. They are these, I don't know, this is another small-time TV actor, Janelia, right? So that's Jacqueline. So they are doing this campaign to endorse this. And tomorrow, what is happening? They are having this go viral on their pages because it's a hashtag. So it is going and trending. Kids are using this to follow the norm of 20 seconds of hand washing. And Dettol is also making money because at the end of the day, Dettol is selling because kids want to now buy Dettol hand wash or soap to wash themselves or to be antibacterial, right? So it's a Ek Teer Do Nishan concept where they killed it with this campaign for everything. They did social media awareness, brand building, okay, and secondly, they also facilitated their revenues for the companies. Last one, I want to show. I'm not being able to share my screen. Okay, like, one second. The last one I want to show you is a US brand. Okay, it's called Face Jar. How they are trying to monetize the situation and the kind of creative campaign that they have done with their brand. Have a look and then we'll open for discussion. Okay, everyone can see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, we can.
Hey guys. Hello.
Hello. The meeting's begun, everyone's in place.
But look around, people, you're touching your face.
Now's not the time to touch that beautiful chain. Or scratch your nose during these times that we're in. By itching your beard, you might spread the bug. So during our call, refrain from touching your mug. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Please don't touch it. Don't touch it. But if you do, at least you can donate to a really great cause. Don't touch it.
Hello.
So this is a campaign that they ran. Sorry, can you see this? Can you see my screen again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So they monetized it. They kind of said every time you touch your face, you put money into that FaceJar account. It's an app that you install, and the money that gets raised through that, they buy PPE. So the hashtag was Get Us PPE. And that's how they made money, and that's the kind of a proactive approach that they took to kind of aggressively promote themselves. They're a social media platform, and they're making money out of it, as well as creating some fun, engaging content. On that note, guys, thank you, everyone. These are my coordinates. You can find me on Instagram, find me on Facebook, or email me if you have any questions. And I hope this was like engaging, or at least it was informative, the session. And if you have any questions, let's discuss now. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time.
Students, you can ask questions to ma'am regarding this.
Yes, students, please ask questions or share anything that you would like to.
Hello, ma'am. I wanted to ask a question.
Sure. Please go ahead.
Ma'am, the insights provided in the Instagram's business account, are they accurate and trustable?
Sorry, can you say that again? Can you say that again?
The insights provided by the Instagram in their business accounts, are they trustable?
Are they trustable? Oh, absolutely. Who am I speaking to? Mahima.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Mahima. So see, Instagram is it's a monitored platform. Okay, so when you do Instagram analysis, whenever you use Instagram Insights, okay, for your personal page also, they will show you the right details in terms of the percentage, because it's not manual. It's all automated. So they have a bot system where they calculate engagement, they calculate traction, they'll calculate the reach of your posts. So it's very authentic. You don't have to worry about these kind of platforms like WhatsApp and Instagram and Facebook, because they're completely automated. Nothing is manual. So it's all based on calculations.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, Mahima.
Others, please go ahead.
Students, please ask question to ma'am, please.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, see, there are many things. So, during the COVID time,
questions, please.
If you have any questions regarding whether jobs will be there in the market tomorrow, what kind of jobs are there in social media, hiring.
You can ask regarding anything about your about the current market scenario, job scenario. You can ask to ma'am.
Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Can I ask a question?
Yes, absolutely.
My question would be, when talking about digital marketing perspective in from talking about a digital marketing perspective in Instagram, ma'am, whom are we actually taking as a target persona to target in, from Instagram and use our blogging and posting, so that, we have a general idea. So whom are we targeting?
Right. Prakarsha, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Prakarsha, can you repeat your question again? Who are we targeting?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to clear the thing, because for a Facebook scenario, we have a different target person, a different target audience.
Absolutely.
And for Instagram, for YouTube, we have totally different target audiences. So I was hoping, so like for someone like Kylie Jenner, you given the option. So for someone like Kylie Jenner, who is posting like her pictures and all, and she's getting famous, but if we did it in any other platform which is very serious in its contents, she wouldn't be this much famous. So that's the difference in target audience what Instagram actually has. So that's the question I had.
Perfect. So Prakarsha, that's a very valid question. That is why when in the slides when I showed when I mentioned the 5 core pillars of social media strategy was number 1 in the 5 core pillars, which means that tomorrow, when suppose if you want to have a page of your own, you have to understand the dynamics of that platform and build a strategy around it. So tomorrow, if you want to go to Instagram, your target audience will be very different. Your target audience will be 18 to 25-year-old. So even for Kylie Jenner, before she went onto the platform, she had an entire marketing team. She doesn't have brains herself. I'm pretty sure about that. And she has a whole team working for her. So she must be having a team working behind her saying, as per research, research trends show that you should not get on TikTok, because TikTok it's very viral, but TikTok is also very crass. It's not classy. Instagram, there are different kinds of people on Instagram. There are classy, non-classy, etc. Like a Shilpa Shetty on TikTok is still fine, but maybe like a Heidi Klum or what is her name? The Jennifer Lopez or Shakira may not be
or
on
Julia Roberts.
Or Julia Roberts, right, Chantan? Since you like her so much. So, you have to be very wary of the kind of platform you're going on to. So if you want your audience to be very niche, okay, 18 to 25-year-old, very niche, then you decide Instagram. If you want anybody and everybody to follow you, and you have very engaging content, like something funny, like for example, if you want to do Andaz Apna Apna, okay, you want to enact Andaz Apna Apna plays or dialogues, TikTok is the right medium. So Google, in fact, there are, on Google, if you Google target audiences of social media platforms, they will give you target audiences of social media platform where you can do a comparison. Twitter has older audience, Twitter has political audience, Instagram has so-and-so audience, Facebook has a larger, more older audience. So 55-plus-year-old people are also on Facebook. Your parents, my parents, they are still on Facebook, but they may not be on Instagram. So these are the things that you have to strategize before you think of coming out on Instagram, which is with target audience mapping.
Yes, ma'am, sure. Ma'am, another question I had.
Yeah.
I personally faced this problem during digital marketing,
Mm-hmm.
was that for different platforms, there are different types of contents, right? So when I'm, double posting in something, like if I'm posting something in Facebook and it's getting shared in Instagram also, okay.
Yeah.
So do I need to mold the content, actually, what is getting shared according to the, social media or the platform itself?
Prakasha, that is a fabulous question. And let me tell you, it is a huge department in itself. This is called, what you asked me, it is called content repurposing. Okay, which means that you have one set of content, but tomorrow you want to post it in various pages. You want to put it on, you want to have a blog out of it. You want to have a newsletter. You want to put it on Instagram. You want to have it on Twitter with 144 characters. This is called content repurposing, which means you have a content pool, but you want to disseminate it in different places. Yes, you have to have, you can do it, one, but you have to be wary of where you're putting. For example, if you have a blog post. Now, if you take that blog post and copy paragraphs from it and put it on Instagram, do you think it'll work? No, because Instagram is visual. It's more static pictures or videos. So that same blog, if you make it into a GIF or you make a small video out of it online, there are so many tools. There is InShot, there is edit tools, movie making tools, iMovie on your Mac if you have. You can create a small movie, a small 15-seconder, put it on Instagram, and that will fly. The best part about content repurposing is whenever you're putting one content in different pages, which is the same content, keep using one link. If you want to build your Instagram page, last May, you can write, guys, this is the post I'm sharing. Click on the link to know more. Even for Facebook, when you put a post with the same and tweaked content, you say, click on my Instagram link to know more. You go to YouTube. You say, here's the video of my travel post, but click on my Instagram link to know more. What happens is then everybody from all across your pages with same content all onto your Instagram post and like it and share it, and that's how you increase your followers. I hope that was easy to understand, but it's
yes, ma'am.
The whole topic in itself.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I have one question.
Yeah.
Ma'am, what is the future of audiovisual contents? I mean, which is the best platform to it for it? And we see on Facebook that Facebook is also awarding us some monetization programs after 10,000 followers or something like that. So which platform to choose for proper quality artistic audiovisual contents?
Okay, right. Who am I speaking with? What's your name?
Ma'am, this is Orchon here.
Orchon, acha. Orchon, there are two things in this. One is the audio visual making tool, okay, which is the best audio visual making tool. I'll give you insight about that. And secondly, which is the place where you can post those audio visual, which will give you the maximum return on investment, not money investment, investment of time. Okay, your time is also as important as money. So one is audio visual tool. Tomorrow, whatever content you have, if you want to work on yourself, you have a very funny video to make, okay? Or a girl like a student wants to make a video on home cooking tutorials. She wants to make a dish. You want to make something as simple as Dalgona coffee. Dalgona coffee is trending like anything right now. The best, the various tool that you can use is one that I use. It's called InShot. Okay? It makes the quality videos. Quality, I mean, it's subjective, but you can do a lot of editing on that. iMovie, if you have, iMovie helps you edit with great fonts and styles. Okay. There is also Creator, Creator with a K. These online free tools will help you make the best of AV content, which means audiovisual content. You can add photos, you can add images, you can add GIFs, you can make larger content, you can make a movie out of it, 15 seconder, 10 seconder. Instagram, you can only post less than 59 seconds, which means less than 1 minute. And then above that, it goes to IGTV. So if you make a smaller video, then it goes on Instagram. Now coming to your second part of the question, which platform to post it best, especially during this time? AV content right now is selling like hotcakes on TikTok, if you ask me. And TikTok is also giving money. See, Facebook right now is not very, I mean, it's there, but it is also scattered audience, okay? And to be very honest, people in your age group, like 18 to 24, I'm guessing you guys are all 20 to 30 age group, people are not on Facebook. We check our Facebook accounts once in 2 days, but Instagram, we will check every day, 6 times a day. TikTok, we may check what's happening maybe once a day or once in 2 days. YouTube channel is becoming big, okay? Because everybody is on YouTube free right now. YouTube is giving free masterclasses. If you really want to monetize AV platforms and put your AV on a platform, Instagram is a place with IGTVs, okay? TikTok is the place for AV content upload, and YouTube is the place for channel uploads. And Facebook and all then comes after that. And don't think of monetizing right now, because you will only monetize after you really have a great reach and great engagement. So, you know, Facebook is not stupid also. They look at many things when it comes to paying people. Even YouTube, the ads that come before, they are also paid. So they will the ads of people on YouTube who have a great reach and following. It takes a little time to build that, but it's possible.
Absolutely cool, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Yeah, all the men asking questions, the female are very confident about themselves. In iLead, huh? Good to know. Women are very confident. Anyway, Bengali women are very, very sharp.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Swastisha.
Yeah. I think we have a question from Neha.
Okay. Yeah, Neha.
Neha, are you with us?
Hear you. We can hear
Yes, I am.
Please, Neha, please say.
Huh? I do not have any queries as such. Thank you. Hello, ma'am. I had a question.
Yes. Lekha.
Yes, ma'am. If anybody right now wants to grow on social media, should one be choosing a single platform, as we have like 5 to 6 platforms right now? It is like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn maybe, and Twitter. Like, should we choose one single platform, or we should like diversify and take benefit of all options together?
Okay. So, Lekha, if I may just add to that question, are you asking that for like a personal page, or are you asking it from a brand perspective?
Mostly personal page.
Personal page? Okay. Yeah. See, if it's a personal page that you are looking at, say, increasing right now your followership, then you should choose between 1 to 2 maximum. Because, you know, if you look at going everywhere, then you will end up being nowhere. Okay. You think tomorrow you'll want to be Facebook also, you'll do TikTok also, you'll do Instagram. Let me tell you that handling one Instagram page is a huge task. It is a lot of work. Okay. If you look at my page, I have 12,700 followers, and that did not come overnight in one day. It took me 4.5 years. I started my page when I was in Taj 5 years back, and now it is growing. And every day I have to think, what content do I put today so that I can get more followers, more engagement. It is a task to maintain one page. So put all your energies and focus all your energies on one page. What is the content you want to put? Is it a video content? Is it a post? Is it a static post? Is it your image where you are in it? Okay. People like to see people. Like, you like to see me in person talk. If I was just an audio, it would be boring. You would probably switch it off and you would do your Facebook and Instagram by the side, right? It makes it visually very appealing to see a person. Maybe you want to put a post. When you put a post of yourself, you have to dress up, you have to look good, you have to make sure that you are doing content which is engaging. So focus on building one platform at a time. When you are established with that platform, then create offshoots. So these are called program offshoots, where tomorrow, if your content is big enough and it's good, you want to have a little larger content with Instagram, start TikTok. Then when you suppose if you become a political analyst, okay, and you're doing fabulous in your political views and everything, start a Twitter handle where you put your Twitter views and then link it to your Instagram handle. Saying, guys, if you want to know more about me, look at my Instagram, daily feeds, what I'm doing, and put up stories. But it's a lot of work to handle one channel. So I would say focus your efforts on one. When you have enough and more followers, okay, enough and more engagement, then start the second. So take a phase-wise approach, one step at a time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lekha.
Nikita, can you put your insight, something about the career prospect? Because most of our students, those who are in media, they have the specialization of like ad PR, someone is taking print media,
Right.
someone is taking some different television. So basically, if you put some insight that what's the media industry is all about in the current, in the upcoming days,
Right.
how much opportunity they can able to get, or as you have worked in previously in like Ogilvy or DDB Mudra. So basically want something from you, the information to our students, that how much it is, what they have to do, how much they have to prepare to get into this type of organization.
Correct. So Krishnendu, perfect question. I think it'll help close the seminar at a very positive note. Let me tell you guys, since you're all in media, okay, like I was
Media and
telling
management both are in. The students are both from media and management here.
Okay, lovely,
present.
perfect, right. So media and management, even if you're doing management, like an MBA in finance, MBA in marketing, remember one thing, okay, marketing is required for everything. Okay, even tomorrow if you're in finance, even if you're in IT, there is a huge career opportunity in marketing. I am a marketer right now. I am telling you from perspective, advertising, marketing, these are all offshoots. So marketing is the core. And in marketing, you have advertising, public relations, media management, guest relations, okay, events and promotions. All of this create the media or marketing revolution or the marketing universe. There is huge amount of scope right now, okay, because it is the only industry which is right now growing. Having said that, you know, and everybody knows, media is not the most high paying industry, okay. It is not high paying in terms of IT, the way IT gets opportunities to go to San Francisco and work in the Silicon Valley. We don't. But the point is that media is always there and it's existing. Print media versus digital media is 80 versus 20 today. Rather 70 versus 30, which is going to come further down. It will become 90 and 10. Today, as we speak, print is redundant. Papers are not getting delivered, but everything is online. So work is happening in the online medium. Whatever you do, guys, students, whenever you are planning your future, there is a future in public relations. There is a huge future in advertising and marketing. But don't think of making money and quick bucks and then leave, because the money is less, but the money is there. Okay. Also, one very important thing in media and marketing, while you are attending lectures and conferences, remember, till you have on-job experience, nothing is going to work for employers. Tomorrow, if I am hiring marketing professionals, I will see where did you do your internship. So please go ahead after your university or along with your summer courses and all, do an internship. Even if it is 15 days, 1 month, on-the-job experience is very important for people who are hiring, like me. When we hire people, we look at experience, even if it is little experience. When newsrooms you go to, production houses you work with, film companies, all of this is the media universe. Everybody will ask you how much experience you have. So one, don't think of money right now. Just follow your dreams in media and marketing. Two, try and get internships wherever in the media field, whether it is film, hospitality, communications, television, working for a digital agency. There are 101 digital agencies today. Google and you will find a list of 100 in Calcutta itself. Sabyasachi has a huge marketing team. I know him. I know how big his marketing team has started from 1 people to 60 people. Join him. Get to know what is the fashion industry, marketing and fashion industry happening. Go out there, get an internship, and tomorrow the prospect and opportunity for a job will be very, very high then. Yeah.
Students, you have any other queries regarding this or any other queries you have?
Ma'am, I had a question.
Yes, please.
So can you please touch upon, brand building on social media as far as, local entrepreneurs or even, mompreneurs are concerned? So that would really help if you could enlighten me on that.
Mompreneurs
and local entrepreneurs.
Local entrepreneurs, right. MSMEs. Yeah. Beautiful question, Swastisha. So, okay. Now, for brand building, for any brand that is like, for example, a mompreneur. Okay, there is a lady in Bombay. Check her Instagram page out. It's called Uncliched Blog. Okay, she's a mom. She's a mom. She's a stylist. She's doing a lot of self brand building. Okay, which is her own brand. Now she's also taking out other offshoots of her communication, which is her bakery class at home. Her how she's teaching her son, and she's teaching her son's friends. How she's doing fitness classes, and she's very beautiful. So she's doing all of these things together. Tomorrow, brand building happens for us or any other eponymous brand like or MSMEs also. Again, it starts at strategy. Okay, this class is not enough for it, but there is something called SMART goals. SMART. It's a goal framework structure. Before getting involved in any kind of brand building, answer those 5 simple questions. Okay, so specific, related, measurable, okay, technical. These are all your SMART goals, which is a goal framework. Take a pen and paper and write down for moms, which is your focus area. What are your SMART goals? Then after that, do a SWOT, a SWOT analysis in terms of what are your competition out there, how many people are out there. If you're a mompreneur, are there other mompreneurs in your area, in your vicinity, or are there other mompreneurs in your city? If you're an MSME business, how unique is your business? What are the other unique businesses? So brands that are successful are only successful because their R&D is very strong. Okay, their R&D in terms of what all is happening in the vicinity, in the city, in the country is very strong. Basis that they can formulate their own strategy of how uniquely they will position themselves. So brand building will only happen if you invest a lot of time and in fact even money in things which are of R&D. So for example, for companies like us, we invest lakhs and lakhs of money with R&D firms like Nielsen, okay, KC Nielsen, IMRB, research institutes. And we spend this money not just for our whims and fancies. We spend this money because when we are in a boardroom and we're looking at analytics, we look, okay, we are a hospitality business. Who are the other hospitality businesses in the vicinity? Shangri-La, Oberoi, Taj Hotels. What are they doing? What are they saying? How can we be different? How do we position ourselves? And that's how we make our brand building portfolio or strategy. And then we launch ourselves on social media. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay.
Any more questions, students, or we will wrap up the session for now? Students, any more questions?
Ma'am, what is the prospect for digital marketing right now?
Prospect for digital marketing. Who am I speaking with?
Ma'am, it's Prakasha.
Prakasha. Right. Hi, welcome again. Huge, Prakasha. I was telling the same thing, that digital marketing is huge. So I'll suggest you one thing. What you can do is Calcutta itself has a lot of digital marketing agencies. Okay. Look at the work of the digital marketing agencies. Even for Ogilvy has a wing called Ogilvy One, which does digital marketing. Dentsu is another agency. These agencies, they only specialize in digital marketing. The scope is very large. So why don't you start with maybe an internship with the digital marketing agencies? You will learn everything there is on digital marketing, because if you're working for a client will ask you for solutions. So you have to know it yourselves. And these agencies work 24/7 on digital. That's the best place to start in. Huge opportunity, if you ask me.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Other students, you have any questions, as you have participated from the beginning, but not asking any questions till now? Students? Any other students have question? Swananda or Yati or any other student who are in?
Vaishali, are you there? Vaishali?
Yes, sir.
I think you should go ahead and ask ma'am about prospects, about what specialization you could take up for your higher studies in order to get into marketing.
Oh, so I just joined, so.
Okay. But that was on your mind. I knew that, so you should go ahead and ask it anyway.
Yeah.
It's okay. You can ask me anything.
Vaishali, you can ask to ma'am regarding this.
Sir, I don't have anything right now.
So I am asking on behalf of my students, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Then some of us are confused as to how do they, what specialization should they take up. They're generally interested in mobilizing from the social media tools that is available to them, but they still have a rough understanding of it because they still have some time to go before they graduate.
Yeah.
So even though the student I'm talking about is in her final semester, but they're still second guessing as to what specialization would be best for them in order to pursue higher studies, so that they land jobs accordingly. If you could just enlighten them on the same.
Sure. Shayantan, can I ask you one thing? So the students or the iLead University has UG students or PG and UG both?
Both.
Okay. So and there are opportunities to do internships. Do they have summer breaks and winter breaks?
They have had them.
They have their internship policy.
Had to be called off because of the unfortunate.
Okay, right. Of course. Right now, right. So, okay, I'll quickly shed some light on this with respect to the hospitality industry. How we are right now, and how we can do this is, for any kind of specialization to choose, we for even for students, or how do we choose any kind of specialization is. The only way is to get hands-on experience, because from personal experience, I was a commerce and economics student, and I did my specialization in marketing and advertising. That's how I got into advertising and marketing. You realize you want to get into a specialization only when you have experienced that area of expertise. For example, I joined MTV when I was in my college, one semester. I didn't like production, film. I joined CNBC TV 18 one semester. When I was in London, I joined another ad agency and I realized this is what I like to do. Who's this? Hi. Sorry. Right. So just to give you an idea, specialization you can only plan and check once. One is that if you can get an internship, which is not possible right now because of the time, and it will get more, going forward during this pandemic time at least. Number two, the students can specialization only depending on their research. Again, at home, when you're sitting, and if there are students who are really liking social media, they think that they can have a future because they understand the entire digital world, SEO, SEM, Google marketing, remarketing, content management. If you have any writers, okay, then they can choose specialization in digital marketing. If there are people who love writing, okay, like for example, if there are students in the university who have written lovely thesis, okay, or who are into poetry writing, Bengalis are very creative, okay, some way or the other they are creative in say writing, then you can specialize in journalism or print writing, okay. The students can choose print writing. If they are interested in marketing as a whole, not just digital, but digital, print, collaboration, marketing, then they can take on 101 courses in specialization in management of marketing. So it will only depend on the kind of research what the students are doing. And secondly, if they are open and willing to do free internships. Absolutely. Like I can tell you from personal experience that there are 3 JW hotels in Bangalore. One is opening up right now and there are 2 already there. Tell us which are the students which would be interested in marketing, and probably we'll take them for free. Let them get that 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 1 month of experience. But don't tell them to have expectation of pay. Tell them to go work, get experience, and then find their specialization.
I will get in touch with you regarding this.
Yes,
Nikita.
Absolutely.
Question is, I would like to ask you something. Yeah. But I am pursuing with mass media. I'm a master student in media science and I want to specialize in PR. But ma'am, in Calcutta, there are actually a lot of firms which do not really hire interns. So like in that case, what could be done?
Okay, Neha. Which are the firms you have gotten in touch with who don't hire?
Actually, I did my internship in the second semester only with Friends FM. But ma'am, for third semester, we again have to do an internship. I will be doing an internship. So ma'am, I don't really know much of PR firms in Calcutta, based in Calcutta, and not all actually hire interns.
Okay. Neha, what you do is, you have my coordinates. I'm very active on Instagram and I'm very active on my emails. you write to me separately. I will tell you how, if you willing from your side to put in a lot of effort without any pay. Say, for example, I'm telling you, you approach a agency. I know about 8 agencies I can think of right now in Calcutta in PR, like Ad Factors and Text PR and Edelman Communications, who I have worked with. They will not have any problem to take you on for an experience for free, to be very honest. Okay, for free as in to give you that experience. Okay, for 1 month, there'll be no problem in that. But you have to build your portfolio. You can't just say, oh, I want experience and I'll go. No, you have to work on your LinkedIn account, make it very robust, put pictures, put the kind of, say if you have written some material, if you are into PR and if you're interested to specialize in PR, you have to be very good with your writing skills. You have to know what to write. So if you've written poetry, you've written dissertation, you've written essays, articles, blog, put that on your LinkedIn page, make a beautiful resume, give it to me. I will send it out to my media universe and you will definitely get an internship. That's not a problem.
Perfect.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am,
I will send you the resume of our interested students, Nikita, and as I am the representative of them, I will definitely help you out, help them out. I will be in touch with you regarding this. These students, please continue to ask anything.
yes, ma'am, I had a question. So digital marketing is very promising, but like, could you please touch upon like some of the pitfalls that, you know, how to revive if there is something that, you know, that gets in the way and the reach is not going as expected?
Pitfalls of digital marketing? Again, from which perspective? Individual perspective, brand perspective?
Ma'am,
organization or
both. Organizational, individual.
Both?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. See, pitfalls again, let's talk about organization because mine is an organization and I handle their pages also. Pitfalls will be if you become run of the mill. If there is no, if your R&D is not very solid and robust, if you have not invested time and effort in R&D and you launch your brand without any USP, which is the focus area of your brand will become any other brand that is in the market without any kind of unique selling point or a proposition or a positioning of your brand. So that means that your engagement will be less, your traction will be less, your interactions will be less because what you are doing, everyone is doing. So how is it different? Number 2, the pitfall of an individual page. If you put posts, so if you would look at a lot of Instagram posts, people do a lot of quotes. Okay, today's quote of the day. Do you really, just to give you an example, do you really think that people are reading people's quotes and becoming that interested? Similarly, if you look at 9gag, okay, or others, they also put quotes, but in a very engaging manner. They'll put a quote with a hilarious twist, or they'll put a quote with a video. There are memes. Sometimes memes are very informative. Sometimes memes are very funny. Now they trend very well. So the pitfall is when you try to be very generic, okay, and you try to be run of the mill. That's when your business goes down, and that's when your personal page goes down. So you have to identify personally what is it that works for you. Tomorrow, if you're into cooking, then only post cooking. But cooking what? Everybody's doing home tutorials. Maybe you want to make a drink, mojito at home. So your expertise is in juggling. So you make a video where you're juggling and then you're making a mojito. So I'm giving you ideas that anything that sets you apart from the rest is going to help you prevent yourself from creating a pitfall for any brand. Any brand goes into a pitfall if it's run of the mill and doesn't have a clear, distinctive positioning to last in the market.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, Vastisha.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, maybe the last question. First of all, thank you for your guidance. I'm Shivam.
Hi, Shivam.
And my question is that what should be the ad strategy for a startup? See, for example, you gave an example of Dettol. That's a huge corporate. And its ad campaign is, as you said, that 20 seconds tak haath dhone wala. So if they are endorsing celebrities and all, that's why that is more getting engaged. But what should a startup do in that case? Because if it does something creative also, then also if it gets shared, but the startup is not really startup को उतना growth नहीं मिलता, ना इतना user वो viewership मिलता है. So what should you do to get a viewership among the audience?
Okay, you're talking about small businesses, MSMEs kind, right? Again, sorry, Shivam, right?
Yes.
Right. Shivam, again, it will come back to the same thing, which is your question was how MSMEs are going to survive.
No, not that.
Ad strategy.
Ad strategy for MSMEs to go into a big corporate.
Right. See, ad strategy is another lecture all by itself. Okay, if you look at just ad strategy, SEM, or any kind of money that you're putting in, even brands which can't have a clear positioning, even when they're putting in money onto the ads. Today, Google or Facebook or any other social media platform allows you to do geotagging or targeting. So when you look at your segmentation, when brands or MSMEs are investing money into AdWords, okay, there's something called Google Display Network that handles the entire AdWords scheme. So you put boost posts, you put money on sponsored ads, you go by a segmentation process, which means you identify, or the business will identify core areas. 5-kilometer radius is the core area. Reach out to people with, depending on the business. Say if your business is, I don't know, if your business is hotels, okay, you want to reach out, it's a small hotel, boutique hotel. You want to reach out to people with income level of certain kind, 10,000 to 50,000 income level, targeted in this area of Calcutta, with interests in sports and fitness and travel and leisure. So the segmentation is available. So ad strategy is a very, very big platform. For MSMEs, it is a complete lecture in its own. So you have to have an ad strategy with the segmentation, and then through that segmentation, you can go on target people and places, and then slowly increase, okay, your traction. If you are if you're an MSME and you're not putting in money into your ads, then your reach will be very less. But if you're actually investing money in Google AdWords or Google Ads, or sponsored listings and sponsored boost ads, then the ad strategy also has to work around it, saying who you're targeting to, why are you targeting, all of these questions are answered, and then you start seeing how you're building your brand, and slowly then a small brand can become a conglomerate.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Anyone has any questions? Zulekha?
Zulekha, you have any question to ma'am?
No, ma'am, not really any questions.
Okay, great. So what we'll do is, I have another call I have to get to. So we'll break now. And any other questions, you can please feel free to email me, ask me direct questions, follow me on Instagram if you
Sure, ma'am.
And we'll take it from there. I'm ready to help you all in any way possible.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Nikita, for conducting the session.
Thanks, and
thank you, students, mentor, Shantan, Nikita, for being.
Thank you, ma'am, for your